What the hell are you doing in my house, boy?
I'm smoking crack.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to record today. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm messing with this new product. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
It's the Zoom B1X Four.
Let's fucking go!
Guys, welcome back to Central Emporium, and today we're going to be looking at this bass multi-effects pedal by Zoom called the Zoom B1X Four. Now, let's talk about some of the features that this pedal offers. It offers more than 60 effects and updating. They constantly update this stuff. And not only that, you can simulate cabs, you can simulate amps, whole amps. And there are a couple other things that you can get out of this pedal, but we'll show that later.
So we'll figure out if this is a jack of all trades or a jack of sucking ass. Now, yeah, like he said, a normal multi-effects pedal, this would be more accurate. You buy it, and that's just what it is. This one updates. It's got a whole bunch of effects, so we'll see if it's worth it. Now, first, let's just get into build quality. It's not the most important thing. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything spectacular from a $120 multi-effects pedal, but I'd say it's decent. What do you think about the actual build quality of the pedal, Victor?
I'd say it's very suspect. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but to be honest, like the cheap plastic, it kind of puts off everyone at a glance because, you know, this is kind of a cheap multi-effects unit. It's plastic. This thing was like $35. But this, it just seems kind of weird. The back, though, does have metal on it. It does have like kind of a metallic.
So I'd say, I wouldn't say it sucks. I'd say it's just kind of a mediocre build quality you'd expect. If I try to flex it, it's not flexing, so I think it would handle a little drop. I'm sorry. And it should work just fine, but it's nothing spectacular. But that's not what really matters. We want to hear how the effects sound, what it does. Would you like to give just kind of a brief overlook of like how it actually works, what the buttons do?
So let's actually plug this in real quick. We're not going to plug it into anything. So basically, to turn on your pedal, you plug into the output, and as you can see, it turns on with all the little light effects. And basically, let's go here. So this is how you select your effect. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. So and you can switch like this. Each of them has at least 9 different presets on each. So you have like 10 to 59 different little patches that you can have, and you can edit these either through the pedal, or you can edit these through like your actual your PC, because it has.
So there is a software that's included with this pedal.
We couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, he was able to make it work with his computer, but we tried it with mine. We tried getting the right drivers, nothing would work. So that's something to look out for. Maybe like this software isn't the most compatible with everything. And if you're unable to get the software to work like us, there's gonna be like a decent amount of menu diving, which isn't for everyone. It does offer a decent amount of like customizability. Like you can create your own patches from the various effects in here. You can tweak like the EQ and all kinds of settings and like really get your own effects out of it.
But get your signature sound. And first, we're gonna switch over to Past Me, and we're gonna show how to mess with a patch through Guitar Labs, which is their proprietary software. Alright guys, this is Past Victor here, and I'm going to show you how to make a patch from the Guitar Labs on your Zoom B1X or Zoom G1X. So as you can see, we have Guitar Labs. You're going to need to run this as administrator because it won't let you into the editor if you don't. So what you're going to do is, you know, have a micro USB ready. And what you'll do is you'll plug it in to your Zoom pedal, whichever one. And it'll take a second. There you go. You can hear the little sound. Now, as you can see, device found loads all of your effects. Okay, now it's time to edit. I want to make my own patch through this, so we're going to go to the editor. You'll go to any one of these, really, and you go down to this one is my demo in this case, so you have add, delete, clip, save, beats per minute. You can change this if you want, and tuner. And these little buttons turn it off. And now what you can do is, let's just delete these using the delete button. So let's say you want to add an effect. As you can see, this little window here, it has bypass, dynamics, filter, drive, amp, cabinet, modulation, special effects, delay, reverb, pedal. Pedal is only if you have the Zoom B1X. So let's say you want to add drive. We're going to add the bass TS DRV, which is the Zoom's version of the Ibanez Tube Screamer. Now let's say you want to add like a, say, you know what, this. And oh no, I want to change the order of this. Well, you can actually drag everything around up here, and it'll be in different orders. Now remember, the pedal flow is backwards. Typically, you're running your bass from the right. From the right, like bass input, right, and then left is output. It's backwards. It's left to right on this, as you can see from these two arrows. You can also edit the volume, processor. You can't have like a bunch of high process effects all at once. This is just kind of like... this pedal does have its limitations. Every pedal's going to have its limitations. Now, you could shift all these around. Delete. That's basically it for, you know, the effects editor. And we'll go back to present day Victor. Alright, peace.
Okay, so something a little bit confusing with the marketing is that this B1X Four actually comes in two separate forms. They have the B1 and then what we have right here is the B1X Four. The only notable difference between these two different ones is that this one will run you an additional $20, and it comes with its very own, what they call the expression pedal. Now, this can be used for effects like wah, or it can also just be kind of used as an on-off to like switch effects or switch the mode. So it works kind of like a typical pedal where it goes up and down, but it has a locking capability. So if I actually put this on the floor, I can show you how to control it. So we've got it in the up position, the down position. It can either stay in the down position or it can easily lift it back up. So that just adds some extra versatility to this pedal. So it's just up to you whether or not you want that. But moving on, Victor's going to tell us how to create your own custom patch.
All right, so we have an example preset here, and word of warning, the signal chain goes from left to right instead of right to left. Typical pedal chain goes like in like this and then out here, but it goes the other way. It's reverse, so keep that in mind when making your patches.
So we're gonna make a patch. This is the R Lapey effect. I'm like decently experienced with that. Maybe. All right, let's move on.
All right. So let's start. So how to get into your like the effects and stuff? You press You press this button right here, and of course you have everything. You can disable them by pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of them corresponds.
So yeah, if you want to keep your pedal board but just switch one off, easy as pressing a button.
And another way you could do it is by selecting with this. This allows you to select. This will turn off the pedal. So let's say you don't want this effect until later on into a song. You can turn it on then just by, pressing it. But you got to make sure it has to be selected first. Make sure you know where you are whenever you're doing this, because, it can get kind of disorienting not knowing where it's selected when you're in the middle of a gig. And past that, let's start editing.
Yeah, so decently intuitive, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far the user interface is pretty simple to understand, but now Victor's just going to show us how to actually change out the pedals if you want to.
All right. So basically, you'll press this button again, and you'll get into like the actual pedal specifics, the parameters. So what you can do here is this is usually to switch. Number 4 is usually to switch the pages, because there's going to be multiple pages of certain things. Like this is an amp. You can switch everything with 1, 2, 3, or 4. Sometimes 4 will just be set to a specific parameter.
So yeah, depending on the effect, you can adjust the EQ or just different parameters, like you said, and really get it dialed in how you want it.
All right. And now you want to know how to switch like the pedal out for something else. You press these buttons. These will actually switch out like the pedal. You can go up or down, whichever. And once you're done with that, you can set everything by just like this. And now let's talk about how you want it. Like, let's say you have your chain is kind of messed up and you just want to change it. What you can do is press settings, chain. Let's say you want to switch pedal 4 and 2. You press 4 and then you press 2. And let's say you want to switch it back 2 to 4. And it'll switch it for you. Now let's talk about how to like change the name of this. So you go to patch, and you can change the name by like just kind of turning this knob right here. This is for like changing the actual character, and you can go between
Slappy.
Yeah, Slappy, and
we can name it you Lappy, Lappy, Clappy. Let's go. Okay, so I think that about covers like how to actually make your own custom presets, the different settings you can mess with. There's a little bit of menu diving here, but like we said, we couldn't get it to work, but there is a software that comes with this that'll make it even easier to kind of create your own custom patches and stuff. But overall, as far as the actual user interface and the pedal itself, would you say it's like relatively easy to understand?
Actually, it is really good to understand compared to some higher end options on the market for multi-effects, like the Line 6 HX Stomp, or the Tone X by ICANN Media, or the Quad Cortex by Neural DSP. And, this is a good price for someone who wants to delve into multi-effects without spending $700 to $1,000 on a big chunk of, like, digital machinery and stuff like that.
So now that that's kind of out of the way, we're just going to compare this to some other pedal. We're just going to compare it to the pedals we already own. We're comparing it to this digital multi-effects pedal. This is a more standard multi-effects. It comes with a few presets: tremolo, pitch shifter, delay, flanger, that kind of stuff. And this will run you about $35. Now we've got the Joyo Uzi distortion pedal right here. This will run you about $70 to $80, and this is a dedicated distortion pedal. We're going to be using this to compare it to the onboard distortion and overdrive settings on here. And we also have a wah pedal. What wah pedal is it?
It's the Behringer Hell Babe, which is just a wah pedal. It has a couple parameters. We're going to be comparing it to the wah in the actual Zoom B1X.
So yeah, let's get into the meat. Let's see how this actually stacks up to some other pedals. Alright, so you guys heard how it sounds. What do you think about the sound of the effects on here versus like the more dedicated pedals?
I don't know. It might be spreading itself a little bit too thin. Some of these are actually decent. Like this pedal's good for the price.
Yeah, the overdrive I actually preferred. It was a little bit muddier, but it was like overall like a better kind of overdrive tone. But we were comparing it against the distortion pedal. But certain effects like the delay or like the pitch shifter, you might have heard it sounded slightly off, and that's because we couldn't actually dial it in properly because it just wasn't like very intuitive. Like,
now that just seems kind of like that's like a user error on our end. You might have a better time dialing things in.
Yeah, but like for a beginner, it might not be so easy to understand certain effects like that. Like on this, you just have standard like 0 to 10. When we were adjusting the delay and the pitch shifter on this, it would be like 10 to 1,000, and we just didn't even know what the numbers meant. The wah pedal sounded pretty like it just kind of washed out. It didn't have the same.
It doesn't. It sounds like it's almost there. It's half baked. It's not quite good, but it's not quite good, but it's not quite bad. It can't. It's hard to describe, but the wah just doesn't feel like it's there all the way. It's like they kind of they didn't take their time to make it.
So as far as like the actual use case for this, I'd say this is good if you just want to try some different bass effects out and don't want to spend a whole lot of money. But as far as like recording and gigging, I would maybe recommend some dedicated pedals or something a little bit higher end. So we're actually going to go a little bit more in depth with this. We were showing you how to make a custom patch earlier. Now each of us made 3 custom patches, and we're going to show them all off now and show like really the versatility what this thing can do.
Alright, let's go.
Let's fucking do it, Victor. Alright guys, well thanks for watching our video.
Noah, the fuck? That's not a good outro, bitch. You need to make a better outro.
Alright guys, so thanks for watching our fucking YouTube video today. We got the Zoom B1X Four. Do you think it's a good multi-effects processor?
Yeah, what do you think?
Do you think it's a mediocre multi-effects processor? Do you think it's a bad multi-effects processor? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about this multi-effects processor. Thank you guys for watching our fucking YouTube